Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the season finale, episode 8 of the Bell to Bell podcast. I'm one of 3 of your hosts, DJ Nation, voice of voiceless, Pat Attending. Alongside, we can't keep saying 2 and impossible. That does not work in every situation. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and introduce yourself. Yeah.
The jackal of all trades himself, Blackout the Rebel, author, producer, artist, podcaster, writer. I'm here. What's good with it?
And conspicuous by his absence is King League TV. You can say he's on assignment, but at the same time, he is legit on an assignment on something that is very detrimental to him. But he did send me a message because, as he does know, this is the season finale, and it's necessary that I will read it at a later time, but it's necessary y'all understand how important from April, literally from WrestleMania to now.
No, really from March.
From March, you're right.
Yeah.
That we really started to lock in and say we want to do this podcast. So before we even get into anything, thank you to every Twitch streamer, every Instagram watcher, every follower we have. Like, we really do appreciate you because it's gonna go very well going into season 2, how we're going to have things set up. But let's start how we do the show. Our opening bell is what we're watching currently, which is WWE Clash in Paris. Currently watching Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed.
Which is bullshit, but...
My man has been waiting this whole time.
Stop giving me ammo and don't expect me to shoot. Why the fuck is Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed the first opening match? Like we don't have the 487th match of Sheamus and Rusev. Like, we haven't seen that shit 90 fucking times on Raw. I'm sorry, but proceed. You was doing your intro.
No, there's no need to proceed on it because this is something this was bound to happen. Bound to happen.
But you don't make this the first match.
Of course, that's how people always start with a hot match to keep people into the match.
It's a hardcore match with Rusev and Sheamus. The fuck?
But Rusev and Sheamus is not Roman Reigns. They don't have the same.
I'm on the fence. You wanna set the tone. I'm all for that.
Yeah,
I understand that.
Exactly.
But Roman has amassed too high of a level to be the opening match. He is main event material.
No title involved.
It don't fucking matter.
Does matter. You keep the people hot, and obviously you get Roman out of there because we already know after this, Roman's gonna film the rest of his rest of his scenes in Street Fighter, coming soon to a theater near you.
You got the movie trailer voice now?
Yeah, listen.
All right, you got it. But all right, yeah. Finish what you was gonna say before I rudely interrupted, because this shit is just pissing me off.
No, all I was gonna say is the fact that outside of all the people who have watched episodes, streamed, what I really meant to do is to give the actual analytics for this episode. People who have actually tuned in to the shorts, any of our the memes we posted, we appreciate all that because honestly, going to season 2, we want to increase that. So in doing that, you're going to hear me say it a lot on this stream. Go to the link in our Instagram and go to where it says Venmo or Buy Me a Coffee. Donating to this show will keep this show going, and anything from posting up the eventual Bell to Bell logo we want behind us, behind where Blackout the Rebel and King League sits every episode, to even placing certain things such as Blackout the Rebel's book that's currently sitting behind me over here in the corner. Stuff like that is important to have more people contact us to be a part of the podcast, because having your advertisement place is part of being part of the podcast. So the Bell, the number 2 Bell, pod, POD at gmail.com, and contact us today and see if going to season 2, how we can have you a part of the stream and part of the podcast itself. As Bronson Reed, man, I've seen Clash in Paris. This man has not. So I love the fact that there's going to be a different interaction versus to how we did SmackDown and everybody, and then what Mother seen SmackDown except me and him. Yeah, Bronson Reed stand out in this match here, man. He really did.
I think ever since honestly, ever since the back and forth with him and Ricochet, we've seen the improvement, we've seen the potential with Bronson. So
yeah,
him being at this position now, I'm not mad at it.
Big Bronson Reed, boy. So while we're having our conversation and again watching Clash in Paris, what's something you want to bring up outside of the fact that WWE is a very interesting brand right now with everything going on as far as us going viral with Karrion Kross recently and contracts and such.
Shout out to Karrion Kross, shout out to Scarlett. I appreciate the fact that you guys even saw the post that I put up or the shirt that we did. But yeah, I just shoot from the hip. I don't give a fuck, and I'm just honest. Like, it just gets on my nerves when you see good people getting fucked over.
Yeah. So you on that one?
Like, had there been some news that came out where we didn't know, it would have maybe gave a little bit more credence. Yeah. But the fact that this guy in the ring, the face that he gives us when he's performing and entertaining us, and the face that he gives when he's behind the scenes, when he's dealing with the fans, when he's dealing with management. Doesn't matter who the person is. He doesn't have an arrogance to him. He doesn't have any of that. It's a humility. It's like, listen, I know what I'm worth. Can we just adjust these numbers? Can we just make this more fair?
Right.
And you just see a company just making. It's just bad. It just sets a bad precedent. Because if I'm somebody else in this company. And I'm not as high, and I'm not as valuable, and I'm not selling as much as Karrion, I'm extremely worried.
I mean, listen, we got into a point where I think I said this in episodes in the past, that there's a lot of times we get comfortable in the idea that some of these wrestlers, some of these superstars are good in the positions they're in. Case in point, Karrion Kross legit, and the reason why we're mentioning it, ladies and gentlemen, because we had a Twitch stream. Shout out to everybody who watches us on Twitch as well.
Thank you.
We do appreciate it. We had a Twitch stream recently where we went live during NXT on CW. And we just happened to mention the fact that, Black Out the Rebel had to mention the fact that how he felt about the next step in Karrion Kross and Scarlett's career going independent. I had casually mentioned the fact that they were showing up on GCW. Shout out to everybody at Game Changer Wrestling. And the fact that he's able to now be more loose with his career. In that stream, we mentioned the fact that he's been very, very non-vocal, which is very rare for a wrestler who gets released or contract runs out in WWE or in any wrestling company. Very supportive still of everybody in WWE because him and Scarlett did want to finish their careers there. Black Out the Rebel in this case said that if it was him, paraphrasing here, that he would place his lower extremity on the table and ask who would want to put their mouths on it first. And the bold move to basically say they can, in your words, suck his dick. I want to say this straight up. I didn't expect, when I do the videos, because I do a lot of the behind the scenes videos, me and Blackout oversee the Bell to Bell podcast social media, so when you're messaging, it's usually one of us replying. But if it's not myself or Blackout, it's Yano who posts up on a regular basis. So we all have different things that we do behind the scenes to keep the podcast moving. So yesterday I said, why not? Let me just clip this out. I think it was like 40 seconds of a response. And shout out to Yano who put us on to Opus Clips. I said, why not? Let's put it out there. And sure enough, I get a mention on Twitter. Then we get the follow on Twitter from Karrion. Well, now Killer Kross. Then we get the follow on Instagram. And the way my heart was going was like, holy shit. Like Killer Kross dead ass replied to, I mean, yeah, it was a little, I didn't expect it was going to go the way it did and he was going to pay attention to it, but yo, that was big, and honestly, for Bell to Bell, the credit goes to the Blackout, of course, for being bold to say it. But on the other side of it was like, damn, that's us putting in the work since March up until now. That Ron Killings and also now Killer Cross follow us, and again, shout out to you, bro. Listen, shout out to that man, but also that's big, man, and shout out to Killer Cross and Scarlet, man. That was a moment yesterday that I don't think we could ever take back. We always lit. Group chat, messages. I sent the screenshot to Yano. He was like, oh shit. And then I was saying, oh shit. I just kept saying, oh shit. And then he mentioned us in his story. So I'm like, oh shit.
Yo, because at first, y'all sent it to me and I wasn't paying attention. Like I was doing something. I think yesterday, I'm going to get into my event. I'm going to get to that later. So I'm getting ready for that. And eventually I was looking at the screenshot. I'm like, what the f-? I'm like, nah, I'm not looking at this right.
Yo.
I was like, wait, what?
Yo.
But yeah, I mean, listen, man, we've had some really good, not even good, we had some really great moments for it to be a season 1 on a shoestring budget. Like, we literally, like, this looks nice, but I'm telling you, this shit is just...
It's just us.
Yeah.
It's just us, Oos.
Day one shit.
Day one shit. Not dead ass, because each of us has linked together in different ways. That, yeah, while we have the background in music, entertainment, and that form of media, the fact that all 4 of us kind of found love in wrestling while working together has been the dopest part of this entire journey, because he fell back in love with wrestling again because of Nikita Lyons.
Yeah.
I fell back in love with wrestling mainly because of the fact that honestly AEW came along, and I enjoy. Yeah, I love my good stories that WWE do come up with because I know the characters, but AEW gave me like another channel, gave me the old school vibes of watching WCW back in the day, and that's why I fell back in love with it. And then for Leak, and I'm not speaking for him, but this is something we've had conversations about, AEW being around, WWE being around, having New Japan out there, the other leagues as Blackout put, has just given us something else to watch, and on top of the fact that for a good, 3-4 months straight, y'all know? 3-4 months straight, Yana would come over when my daughter was here, and we'd be watching SmackDown, chiefed up, like chilling.
That's what's up.
Yo, and just like, yo, you saw what happened? Yo, it would just be so, it'd be so dope that the fact that we have this new camaraderie outside of radio and music, and now turn into this. I love this, man, and I appreciate everybody who watches every episode of the Double Bell Podcast. I do.
I like to point out that I love this podcast and what we do because it's safe.
Why do you say it's safe?
Hear me out. Yes, I say some over-the-top things. I get very passionate when I'm talking about certain things.
You don't see.
When I talk about things that anger me or excite me or whatever. But I love this podcast because it's safe. What do I mean when I say safe?
Please.
Every single person who was born with a mouth thinks that they deserve to have a podcast.
Oh, he's going
here. Every
here.
single person, for some reason, thinks that their podcast needs to be about what women don't do or what men don't do. I want to thank my brothers for having us do a safe podcast. You like wrestling? We like wrestling. You don't like what happened in this match? We don't like what happened in this match. At no point do we care about who needs to split the bill. What does this person bring to the table? I think it's an oversaturated market. I'm tired of it, and I'm just thankful that we have now. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, there's nothing new under the sun. There's plenty of wrestling outlets out there.
Yeah,
it's far bigger than us. Other ones that's going to be after us, and that's current during us right now. Still trying to get their legs moving and everything.
Right.
But it just feels different. It's a community where it's literally love. You can walk into a venue, don't know anybody. You're dressed as Seth Rollins. You're dressed as, Bianca Belair. Mm-hmm. You're gonna get love. You're gonna get respect, no matter what the situation is. It's almost like Comic-Con. So I appreciate that. Like I'm so through with all these other podcasts. Like shit's just so fucking annoying. Like I hate it. What's up?
No, I was talking to shout out to Yano.
Yano definitely getting saucy.
Exactly.
I see you, boy.
I heard something with the camera. I heard a noise. Yo, shout out to Yano.
It's alright. Go ahead.
Go ahead, bro. It's the
light.
season finale, bro. It's all
Fuck
good. It's all good. I love the fact that, even in that realm, what you were saying, Bell to Bell was an idea I think we've been sitting on for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
I'm so pissed that listen, everything happens when it's supposed to happen, but keep going.
But yeah, we've been sitting on for 2 years, and that's mainly because of several different reasons. One, I've gone through a tremendous amount of change within myself over the past 2 years. I don't speak on personal stuff because there's no need for that. But I will say is wrestling has saved my life in several different ways, because my mind could have went elsewhere because of my background in music. Wrestling kind of diverted out of me feeling like I need to be that person, need to be DJ Mainstream, the musician, and not DJ Mainstream, the fan of professional wrestling. And honestly, again, I say that on the realm of falling back in love with it because of All Elite Wrestling. I'm very thankful for this podcast because I'm very thankful for what professional wrestling has done in my life. And shit, having good friends around me now, on top of getting to meet people like Peter Rosenberg and the people I'll meet in the future, hopefully. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to what season 2 gonna bring. Shout out to I can drop one bit of news now.
What's up?
Shout out to professional wrestler Rembrandt, who is a champion in Battle Club Pro. He's gonna be one of our special guests in season 2.
Let's do it.
Yeah, Rembrandt is a family friend, somebody I've known for quite a long time. We kind of first really linked back in my first independent show. I think I may have put a picture out there when I first met Santana Ortiz, which is why I'm such a big Mike Santana fan. Was it for House of Glory? Yes, it was for House of Glory. It was at the Elks Lodge over in Elmhurst, right on Queens Boulevard. Mm-hmm. And I remember seeing MJF for the first time, Santana Ortiz, so many other wrestlers that I met that night. But seeing Rembrandt and getting to meet him was really dope, and we stayed connected since then. And I told him recently, like, yeah, I want the Battle Club Pro Championships sitting on this table right here, live on air. And he was like, alright, say less. So that's one announcement I can say. Rembrandt is going to be a special guest on the Bell Podcast season 2.
I'm with that.
Oh, that was dope.
Yeah, that was a block, not even a reversal.
That was a straight up block.
You know how beast you got to be to block a spear?
Talk about Bronson Reed blocking spears out here.
Sheesh.
Like I said, I've seen this match. Bronson Reed showed me something. He's main event caliber. I mean, this is the man who's beat Okada. He's main event caliber.
He's a man that went one-on-one with Braun Strowman. That's not an easy thing.
No, it's not. It's not. But yeah, what else did you want to mention as we get into this? I guess it's a celebration of our first season.
Well, another point I would like to another thing I want to point out is how happy I am that we're covering wrestling, because as you just pretty much said, we're covering the pros and the indies. Yeah. So we're covering AEW, we're covering WWE, but we got the North Carolina. We got our eyes set on them. Yes. We got Fourth Rope. We're keeping an eye on the championship. Your man Rembrandt, his league and everything. I love that because, like you said, we all come from a music background. Right. Generally, we came from hip hop, and a lot of it was indies. Yep. So shout outs to the Live Johnsons, the Coney Brooks, the Hooks Murdochs, all of these great people.
Shout out to Yano.
Star Qualified, all of them. Woo! So that's great, but at the same time, we also had to cover the more or less quote unquote the pros. We had to cover everything that's going on in the industry that everybody knows. I'm glad that we do wrestling because I really hate the state of hip hop right now. So I would be so fucking pissed off having to cover that shit on a week or bi-weekly basis. Like, you take out the greats that don't produce music at the same pace that they used to. Mm-hmm. I'm stuck trying to cover fucking Yachty or somebody else who just died. That's the only reason why we're hearing about them.
Jeez.
So I'm happy that we're doing something that it makes people feel good. Mm. It's like you said, it saves people's lives. It gives a happy distraction. It's a beautiful thing.
I've enjoyed what we've been able to create here, and I'm really hoping that when it comes to what we do in season 2, since we're talking about people around us, Can we give a big love to our producer, Yano, our camera person, our one-stop shop who set all this up?
Facts.
Because, yeah, Yano, you need a mic. Because I feel like you need to start talking on this shit too. You need to come sit over here on camera, bro. No, what you mean? Nah, let me let y'all know this, man. Swiss Visuals, Swiss TV. There was a time that me and Yano had sat in this house, and this was back when I didn't have the extra lights or none of the equipment was here. And matter of fact, I know exactly what I'm gonna mention. This is a great story. Nigga Day. And I'm gonna mention Nigga Day because it was the time where it was like I first moved into this apartment. It was myself, Live Johnson, Black Out the Rebel, Yano, and Mastermind. And we all sat around just kind of updated each other on what was going on in our lives at that time. And it was just a good relief to sit around. We played music, sparked up, had a lot of drinks going around. I think I had ordered a whole bunch of Dominoes, and we were just chilling. And it was like, I need y'all to understand how important it is to do a mental health check on your niggas and on your peoples, because at that time I was going through such a divide on where I wanted to go in life. Having people who knew me around and having them all say, yo, we could do this, we should do this, we should do that. And it's like, nah, this is what the core of it. All of us coming together about ideas of what we could do because we're smart enough to do it. We have the intelligence to do it. We have the ability to do it. And at that time, I was still like getting into wrestling. I think it was around the time CM Punk had just came back, and Mastermind had sent me a video of CM Punk coming back in AEW. And he was like, yo, your boy is back. And I'm like, yeah, no, I've been watching. He was like, yo, I feel like wrestling's about to get hot again. And I'm like, yeah, I'm starting to feel the same thing. And I remember that same time during the day we were all together, Yano mentioned it. He looked around and was like, yo, this space calls for something. Like, it feels like something is here. And then you fast forward to now, yo, all of us sitting around basically talking shit about Roman Reigns, work schedule. Yano hit me up talking about how he fucks with Seth Rollins, or the fact that we see Logan Paul do some wild shit on social media. The fact that we all can connect off that, I think that just made such a easy transition to why this podcast works. And I love that, man. And that's all really thanks to Yano on a lot of different ways of making sure we look good and, you know, our skin be glistening and shit. But Swiss TV, Swiss Visuals, please. I'll throw the Instagram in there. It's usually in the bio of all our videos. Please hit this man up. Please hit Yano up to do your videos, your podcasts, your freestyles, your music videos, all that, man. Because it won't look as good as it looks now if it wasn't for Yano. So. Yeah, of course. I want his ass to come on the camera, but you know.
Nah, we can say that for season 2.
Yeah.
He's gonna be mic'd up, ready to go.
But yeah, season 2, Yano's gonna come on camera. We're gonna have him sit with us too.
Yeah, so this way it's not 2 impossible no more. It's actually
it's 2 impossible. Oh my god, bro, we're not doing this. But shout out to Roman Reigns. He just beat Bronson Reed. Oh yeah, I saw this part. Roman's slick, man. He know that them J's worth money, so he gonna start signing them. He signs them and throw them in the crowd.
Oh shit.
Yeah, look. Mike Cole was trying to give him a better marker. Look at this shit.
The breads?
Yeah. Look. He threw
mass pandemonium. The way I would have been on niggas beating the shit out of people in that crowd, that would have been a fight.
Watch this stuff. This nigga Braun Breaker is on site, bro.
He got to do it. He got to do the shit. Spaz out, nigga.
Oh, Breaker when he crash out, bro. Like, you see the way he crash out. Here come the crash out moment. Yo, I'm telling you right now, I give Braun Breaker 2 years to remain in WrestleMania. I give him 2 years.
I don't mind that timeline. That sounds pretty good.
Shout out to Jelly Roll being there live. But yeah, I give Breaker about 2 years to main event wrestling.
He's accelerating very fast. If he stays,
unexpected, yo.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say unexpected because I've always seen even NXT days, and even though I came late in his career for NXT, he always delivered. I think maybe more so now because we see that he can do good promo work, and he's a really healthy, good wrestler. Yeah, definitely 2 years. It's probably gonna be less than that, but yeah, 2 years for sure. It's depending on how storylines go, people leave, people retire, people get hurt.
Yeah,
definitely.
I got a question though.
What's up?
What makes it very interesting? Do you see him main event in WrestleMania by eventually turning on Seth and Paul, or a part of Seth and Paul's stable, a part of the Vision?
You talking about for WrestleMania?
Yeah, buddy. That's tough because honestly, we get into a realm now where Breaker is that good, right? And it's obvious that they're trying to duplicate. Listen, y'all can tell me I'm wrong, but they're trying to basically duplicate the same type of connection a young Brock Lesnar had with Paul Heyman in this situation with Braun Breaker. I'm curious, does it turn into a Braun Breaker situation of turning on Seth by Paul giving him the word to do it? Or Breaker, let's say, wins Royal Rumble instead of going after Seth Rollins, who's possibly still world champion, goes after the WWE Championship. That's where I'm trying to stop with. Because I see Breaker as a nice solid 2 years before we're starting to see him on marquees and main events. Oh yeah, I forgot what happened after this. Oh yeah.
What happened?
Oh yeah. This shit was wild. Roman Reigns is currently walking out. He's about to, I guess you could say, head up the arena. But on that walkway is also Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman. Yo, this nigga Breaker has no fucking chill, bro. No chill, bro. No chill. Here come Bronson trying to stop him for the bullshit.
I can see what you're saying. I can see a world where Paul leaves Vision and deals strictly with Breaker. I can see that.
Because that's the only thing I'm thinking. What do we ultimately...
What does this lead to?
Yeah, like, I love what we're doing with the Vision. I would love to say, like, give them a crappy... Let me not say crappy, but give them a cheap, because it is cheap, tag team run with Reed and Breaker as the champions. Because that's what they normally do. Plus, that also feeds into what you were saying about factions looking dominant. But, even in that regard, it's like... It almost feels like eventually Breaker is getting held back by Seth Rollins in the Vision. But listen, it all depends. You got to put the trust in the pen, right?
The fuck we do? No, we don't. We've seen how that goes. No, I think looking at it from a statistical standpoint, from what we were talking about in our last our lives, we were talking about the average age. Braun. Wait, damn, I can't even say that because Braun's fucking old too. He just looks young as shit.
No, Breaker is... wait, Bronson Reed, you mean?
No, Breaker.
Breaker is, I think, is 26.
Really? I thought we discussed that he was older.
No, it's Bronson Reed who's older.
Oh, well,
Bronson Reed is 37.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's fair.
Now I gotta look it up.
Because my thing was, I would think
27.
Which technically is actually pretty damn young considering everybody else that he's dealing with.
Talk about it.
Unfortunately. I mean, I see what you're saying. I would like for something similar to that, if not that exactly, because there has to be some end goal with the Vision. And I think that's why a lot of people have been voicing their frustration with the Bloodline, because it's just never ending.
Yeah.
And it's like, you would think without the OTC, there would be no fucking Bloodline storyline. But no, we have Timu fucking Solo Sikoa doing his thing. And he is extremely entertaining. He is really coming to his own. As somebody who was just the enforcer, who was coming in barefoot, not saying shit, just with a fucking tape around his spike, to now being so fucking charismatic to come through with the suit, the chain, just laughing and joking, just being very condescending, being an asshole. He's really come a long way. Take the bloodline out and leave that type of persona, and you have gold.
Yeah.
But people are tired of it. And there's only but so many ways you can keep doing it. Like realistically.
Like, what are we doing?
Even this is running its course too much because
division.
Just all of it. Like we've seen this too many times. Like we've seen Bronson, we've seen Reed do this shit to fucking Ricochet. We seen him do that shit to Strowman. Like it's the same writing. It's just interchanging the fucking wrestler.
Yeah.
So you can't trust the pen. What the fuck are we doing? This shit is with a fucking. This shit is with a number 2 pencil that's not sharp.
Oh shit.
Oh, here we go.
James who just came out to help Roman.
Yeah.
But it also proves the Blackout's point.
I think the only way I can possibly become more invested into Bloodline again is if you do a drastic change and push to Big Jim.
Not gonna happen.
Huh?
Not gonna happen.
Why the hell not? Everybody else in the Bloodline, even Sammy, has excelled. You still have Jimmy in the same position. Something has got to give. He's healthy. He fits the criteria age-wise. He's old as shit.
And what do you want to have him do?
Well, I'm glad you asked because we did discuss that as well. Somebody did point that out, and I apologize. If I knew your name by heart, I would definitely tag you. But somebody did post up saying how to propel Jim's career while also simultaneously keeping Naomi within the talks as she's away for her pregnancy. You have her kind of give like random calls to Jimmy. Every time there's a promo cut backstage, Jimmy's on the phone. Who is he on the phone with? We have no idea. But you just see Jim become more violent, more aggressive, more chaotic. Just being on bullshit like can't be stopped. Jay can't stop him. Roman can't stop him. Sammy is the voice of reason and he can't stop him. Like nobody is stopping him. Nick Aldis is fucking had it with this nigga. Like I'm gonna put you in so many matches. You're not going to be able to survive. And he keeps excelling because he's on bullshit, beating ass. Eventually you see it was Naomi pulling the strings all along. She comes back and she's on bullshit. So I don't want to do like the whole mixed tag thing, but I think that's something interesting enough where it works. It keeps Naomi there, and then every time you see a promo done with a woman like a Tiffany, a Jade, Nia, because that's the only 3 that SmackDown seems to give a fuck about. You're going to see something in the background that the cameraman's going to focus in on. It's going to say something, proceed with caution. You're going to see caution. You're going to see caution tape. Oh, yeah, well, okay, well, damn. Yeah, it sucks for SmackDown because y'all really don't have shit anymore.
Exactly.
But y'all get what I'm saying. So, like, something like that, I think could be really good writing. And because it's Raw, like you said, and you corrected me, I think that could work a lot better. Because Raw has always been, without a doubt, the better brand out of the 3.
At least the way it
Well, at least out of just SmackDown and Raw goes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would like to see it. But other than that, I don't give a fuck about this Bloodline shit. Like, SmackDown needs a drastic change to be able to make me be hopeful. And there wasn't, and you know what's so sad?
You're not hopeful with Sami Zayn winning the U.S. Championship?
Not now. I feel like that was long overdue. And this is
you may be right on that.
And once again going back to like what we was talking about in the last live, it's like this is a moment. Where do we go from here? There's no storyline for this.
No.
Who's going to challenge him?
Solo again, I guess.
Well, obviously yes. We're probably gonna see Solo run it back. Fine, cool. But who else is there?
I like Yano,
So we're probably gonna see that. But who else is a great candidate? Honestly, somebody who I think maybe deserves a shot. You just bought him. See what Aleister Black and Sami Zayn can do.
I wouldn't mind that.
See?
I wouldn't mind that. Only if that doesn't.
See,
that kind of interests me.
I think you're saying that because you know that it's going to take a different level of Sammy to be able to take Alistair. You know Alistair way better than I do. I just started seeing him because he's now on SmackDown. He's a very technical, very athletic guy. Comes from a mixed martial arts or martial arts background?
From martial arts, judo, very technical ways.
Yeah,
very
precise. Somebody like that could literally like run circles around Sammy if he's not mentally and physically prepared.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's something. Shake that up.
I wouldn't mind that at all, honestly. I forget Damian Priest is over there on SmackDown too.
That's true.
And a nice little gentleman's fight between two strong baby faces on SmackDown. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Will they do it? We'll see. But yeah, they're definitely going to run this into the ground with Sammy and the Team of Bloodline. I'm sorry, MFTs.
I'm good. I mean, honestly,
yeah.
If there was ever a better time, because Sammy's bloodline at Jace. Like we love to say Sammy Uso, but realistically speaking, we know he's not a real bloodline person.
Oh no.
So that's my point. If there was ever a time to put a little bit of spotlight on Carmelo Hayes, right now would be the fucking time. Because seeing Carmelo go against Solo, I don't think that's something that anybody would ever anticipate. I don't think that's something that they would ever write. But you put Carmelo versus Sammy, I think you can sell that and make that a lot more logical and sensible.
I wouldn't mind that, or further the little whatever storyline they're trying to get out of Melo and Miz. And
get rid of that.
Miz getting tight that Melo gets a U.S. Championship opportunity. I can see that.
Get rid of that. I don't fucking like that.
I mean, not many people do, but that's getting Melo on TV.
And I appreciate that. If there was ever somebody to do it, why not a Grand Slam champ?
True.
Cool. I love that, but he's so much more. We don't need that. It's reducing him back to like when he was still trying to fight for the NXT championship. It's like he's excelled past that. Once again, the whole challenge of 7 with him and Andrade, I think proved that he can hold his own in the ring. He's good on the mic. We just need to find a viable host to have a good storyline with. And you can create that with out of anything practically.
Literally anybody.
He's a cocky asshole. Like he walks the line of heel and babyface depending on the situation. It's very easy to interchange him into anything. That's what I'm saying. Like if you put him with Sammy, you might be able to get something. At the very least, at least one match.
Yeah,
fuck.
I like that. I like that thought process. But the one thing I've enjoyed also, again, as we're further along watching Clash in Paris, the one thing I've enjoyed so much in doing this podcast as well is discovering other people like on social media who are into it as much as we are. Outside of the fact that we had mentioned the fact that Ron Killings and also Killer Cross recently following us. I want to give a quick shout out to other people that have followed us recently, that professional wrestlers, people that are actually important in the wrestling business that follow our podcast. That every day I go through the follow list, I get shocked as Adam Pearce is crashing out on Breaker and Reed, yo. I'll sum this up for you. Long story short, Adam Pearce kicked them both out.
Obviously.
And basically said that they won't be involved in the Fatal 4-Way match that's set. So,
obviously. Yeah.
So basically that was it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the people I want to give a shout out to shout out to Sam Laterna. She is a digital correspondent for Major League Wrestling. She's done also work with Maple Leaf Pro. Shout out to Scott D'Amore. Does some work in TNA and NWA as well.
Nice.
Shout out to Alexis Littlefoot, who's also a pro wrestler, works very closely with Fourth Rope. She followed us recently. Shout out to... Really?
You have to do that.
Shout out to a longtime friend who's also involved with Voices Music as an artist, but also has tapped into the wrestling business recently, Warren Witt.
Oh shit.
As I pause on this was dope.
What, their entrance?
Street Profits got an entrance that was in coincide with Borderlands.
Oh shit! I still gotta see that movie. I like it.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure Blackout saw that. I fucked with that.
Woo.
So as you know, a new Borderlands game is coming out. So of course they know someone had to get the promo slot in the show. But I fuck with it. I really fuck with the mask and shit.
I gotta go with my girl and do this.
I'm good.
You know what time it is.
I'm good.
But yeah, please continue on this. Like, you can tell he's the analytics guy, because I don't be paying attention. Unless there's people that I personally know is following me following the podcast because of me, like I'm out at an event or something, I'm not paying attention to the follows like that. Like, well, I'm just not.
Well, I try to make sure of it only because I know when the early days of, like, let's say when we were starting out WVMR in this case, those follows are very important, and I want to continue that going on with the podcast. But on top of the fact that these are people I eventually want on the podcast as well. For instance, my guy, the Roman Reigns cosplayer.
Yo, that's my guy.
That's his follow. He got that follow.
Shout out to he's a cool guy. He's funny as fuck. Like, shout out to him.
I would love to have him on the show as well.
Yeah.
I think I want to chop it up with him to get him as a guest on the show. Legit is a cosplayer of Roman Reigns. This man has been in Subway Mania a few times as well.
Yeah, we got to get Subway Mania down.
I would love to get involved in Subway Mania somehow. I'm trying to see on this rest of this list of followers we have here.
Another idea, we could shoot content, do like a but we could do like a small interview on the train before the matches.
Ooh, I like that.
Or we could do commentary. See how? Listen, y'all want to do business? We want to do business. Like, let's talk.
Nice little follow. Shout out to Stan Michael, another wrestler that I've known for a long time. Also is a singer as well, is an artist as well. Wrestles all over the East Coast. Yeah, I really think on this next go around when we do season 2, we want to integrate all the people who support. And one of those things is seeing us a lot out on the street more. So again, this is me mentioning it a second time. The number 2 bell pod at gmail.com. Me and Blanca had a conversation on the last Twitch channel that I wouldn't mind us doing some commentary at one of your local independent wrestling shows. I'm just saying. Can you imagine us doing some commentary?
Anybody who wants to do business with us, I think it should go without saying, anytime you're going to do business with a brand or a company, it behooves you to research the company and brand make sure it aligns with how you present yourself. You don't want to align yourself with a brand or company that is too risque, that goes overboard in your standards.
Right. With
that being said, y'all niggas need to listen and watch my monologues, cause maybe I might be a little too over the top for y'all. If you fuck with it, cool. If you don't, I completely understand. I know you don't want you might not want somebody on there offering the Frank stand, people to the Frank stand a lot. Like, you, and I get that. I respect that. That's cool. But if you with the shits, then let's do it. If you have tough skin and prepared to get your ass cut because you look a certain way or you wrestle a certain way,
I can see him doing it. Yes.
Because I'm not gonna hold back just because you're in front of me. I don't care about that.
I'm with it, honestly. I think I surprised this man recently when we was watching. I don't know if it was because we had watched SmackDown, but after SmackDown, I threw on what was the rest of Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor, and I started calling out moves. And this guy here was like, "Okay, Mr. Analytics." I'm like, "Yeah, I know some moves. I know some shit." But I know enough to where I've paid attention to the wrestling moves. I've actually paid attention to sequences. I've been able to call out certain things, not as good as commentators. I won't say I'm as good as any commentator that is out there. But some of my favorite commentators, like right now, like Vic Joseph in NXT. I love Vic Joseph.
Yeah,
man.
he's pretty good.
Yo, the way he intertwines like hip hop references and real life references and shit. This was important. I want you to see that.
Okay, Dawkins, that's how you fucking step up. That's what I'm talking about.
Dawkins put his hand on Montez's chest. He's like, nah, I'm starting the match. That was important. I wanted to make sure.
That's very important. So to me, I always looked at the dynamic of Dawkins and Montez as somewhat akin to a Shaq and Kobe.
I like that.
Dawkins, like Shaq, is very content and happy with the position that they're at. Shaq would have been a way more dominant force had he had pushed himself and pushed himself to become greater, to be better, to be faster, to work on his shots, all of that. Dawkins, I feel like, is very athletic for somebody his size, but he seems complacent and happy in the position that he's in. I'm the heavy, I'm the muscle of the tag team, I do my thing, and I'm cool with that. Montez, on the other hand, looks like he strives and desires more. We saw that with the Elimination Chamber match.
Yeah.
We saw that with the show that he had with him and his wife Bianca Belair, where he's like, I want to step out and do more as a singles wrestler. How could I step out and be bigger, have more eyes on me? Let me find the biggest person. Let me find Otis. I'm going to slam him. Like, just coming up with different ways and schemes of how he can get the focus on himself, constantly working on himself. I always look at that. So to see Dawkins make that step to say, look, I'm going to start the match, I think that's big. And it also speaks to that. I think there's also it needs to be highlighted who he's doing that against.
Yeah.
He's doing that against the Wyatts, which mainstream knows way better than I. The Wyatts is a very formidable, very dangerous, very high-level faction and tag team. So to see him step up doing this is not pretty deadly, where he could squash in 2 seconds.
Right.
So I think that needs to be highlighted as well. So I'm happy about this.
Because there's correlation here in the fact that he's showing no fear. And I love
Definitely,
that.
yep.
And I love that. Because I know the end result of this match. He's going to watch it after.
I mean, I know the end result. They're not going to make the Street Profits win because we know that.
I'm glad you know, because no, they did not win.
I know they're not going to win because the Wyatts just got the belt. And we know that, Triple H and Vince don't like to see black wrestlers, especially a black tag team, get belts on a PLE. Because they never defended their belt the entire time that they had it on a PLE. Every time it was always a Friday before the actual PLE. So now that they don't have the belts, they're immediately now on a PLE. I just find that very funny.
Well,
And anywho, please, going back to what you were saying, I think that was honestly, you guys, everybody here is going to be the first to hear this, including you.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of trepidation about doing this podcast simply because of your expertise. I didn't know where I would fit in because you knew the moves. You've been watching it more consistently. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, listen, man, you talking to a guy who is coming from the Attitude Era. And I'm only back because I saw ass and titties from the Keita Lyon and Kaden Carter. What the fuck do I know about doing a podcast about wrestling?
And fast forward and look at this man. Has now attended Ron Killing's album release party for the White Album. Has become very good friends with the homie J Trax.
Shouts to J Trax, definitely.
And because of you got the Killer Cross follow, like, listen, whatever happens going into season 2, which I'm about to leaks message he wanted for everybody out there.
Okay.
Whatever happens in season 2, just know this is what the starter looks like. Y'all saw episode 1 from when it was just like one camera setup. There was nothing behind me. There wasn't even a lot of lights like that. To now, the way we have this set up is professional enough for people like you who are sitting at home or sitting on the train right now, know that we're professional enough for us to work with. This is just the beginning. This is only the beginning of what's going to happen next with the Bell to Bell podcast. But as we begin to finish up, let me just add in again. King Leak is on assignment, but he gave me this message to share.
I think I can assume what it's gonna say. I think is gonna say something along the lines of he retracts a lot of previous statements made on the podcast.
Yeah, right.
Jey Uso is the best and top tier wrestler of all time. I think, what else is he probably going to say in there? Oh, yeah, right here, where he says, Gunther sucks and he's the worst wrestler ever and Black Guy was right the whole time.
Whoa,
Oh, shit.
Hell no.
Wait, what else
hell no.
What else does it say?
Nah.
Nah.
I'm not even gonna let him do my mans like that. Nope. He ain't do my mans like that. Cause it's funny he mentioned Gunther, that's why.
I see Yeet like 4 times.
Hell no. B2B family, we made it through our first season. First, I want to thank anyone who takes their time out their day to listen to us talk wrestling. Second, I want to apologize for not being there in person. Life do be lifing, and I have some really important shit to take care of. I also want to say sorry for... I didn't read the whole thing. I also want to say sorry for having y'all have to sit through blackout hatred of the greatest wrestler today, the Ring General Gunther. Yo, this nigga don't miss. But in all seriousness, this podcasting shit isn't easy. It can come with a lot of bullshit. From all of us, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your consistency. Season 2 will be bigger, better, and stronger than ever. We love all of y'all. Enjoy the episode with these old niggas. LMAO, what up, y'all know? Blessings, y'all. See y'all in season 2 with the salute emoji. First off, fuck you, Lee. Second off, we love Lee. And
yes, we do.
And I'll be honest with you. Let me just throw in there really quickly. Because, you know, it wouldn't be me if I wouldn't throw some little bullshit in there. When I said these are the 4 people that's going to be seen on this camera, because Yana will be on season 2. These are the 4 people that's going to be a part of this podcast. The first thing I was asked is, what does each of you bring to the table? And for some reason, that was a constant... Hold on.
We're doing the relationship shit?
Nah.
I am the table.
This nigga's the worst. But the funny part is, I was asked, what does King Leak bring to the table? And honestly, I had to sit there and said to myself the other day, there's no need for me to tell anybody what King Leak brings to the table because I see the numbers. Before the Killer Cross video that went out, Leak himself, 4 different videos, over 1,000 views on YouTube currently for his takes alone. Not saying that this is not a collaborative effort, but when that man says some shit that even had Funk Flex himself get him trying to get a block off of the radio station back in the day, I knew what I was doing when having Leak a part of this podcast. So, I say that to say this. Going forward, Bell to Bell Podcast is whatever myself, y'all know, Black Out the Rebel and King Leak wants to do with this podcast. Because season 2 and beyond, boy oh boy, bro.
Casting couch.
No. Boy oh boy, we got some shit for y'all. We already announced Rembrandt is going to be our first guest. I will also announce second guest that's going to be on the podcast. Some of y'all know her as an artist, but she's also a diehard wrestling fan. Pretty Lady First. She's a local rapper here in New York City, but very well known within the independent scene. She's already agreed that she's going to come up and chop it up with us. So that is also a special guest coming very soon. But we got a lot of others, people that we want to work with. But as we close out Black Out the Rebel, go ahead and say
closing out? Damn, this is...
Yeah, bro, we went by fast. That time went.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that time went.
Hey, look, alright, shit. BOK Out the Rebel is the Instagram, Black Out the Rebel is the TikTok. I am working on a Patreon right now where you're going to have the album What the Heart Wants, as well as exclusive commentary and different things like that. That's also where I'm going to be showcasing my instrumentals. So if you're an artist or you're a wrestler who's interested in getting some interest music, that's going to be the place for you.
Ooh, I heard some beats this man got. There's some wrestler entrances and some of the beats he got.
Listen, man.
I know.
It's funny. I was scrolling. There's one in the tuck that you haven't even heard yet that I had mad long ago. That's my shit, yo. I can't wait to
see the shit he be doing. He hiding shit from us.
Listen, but yes, What the Heart Wants is my book. It's available on Amazon. Please pick that up. I think you guys will definitely enjoy it. Shout outs to Wonderville in Brooklyn. Shout outs to the Donut Lounge.
Lounge. I was at your event yesterday, had a phenomenal time. There's a lot of great talent. Shouts to Coco, shouts to Josh, shouts to Mr. Kindness, shouts to AR Immortal, shoutouts to Rex Gallery. All of these great people, all these great individuals. I hope to be doing some business with y'all soon. Other than that, I think I'm good.
As always, make the call on all social medias, but like our new thing, please go on the Bell to Bell Instagram. Go to our link tree. It has all of our links. We have a Twitter, we have an Instagram, we have a Facebook page, we have a Twitch account, which we'll probably do a little Twitch stream after this recording is over. We have a Patreon. Please visit all these links on how different ways to support this podcast, because we would like to do a lot in season 2. Season 2 is going to look not dramatically different, but very differently than what you see in season 1. There are things that we're going to switch up, things that we want to do differently.
Pyros.
We're not doing pyro. Where do we get pyro from?
Yo, I know a guy.
You know what? Bell to Bell is the number 2 bellpod@gmail.com is the email address. Please hit us up, sponsors, wrestling companies, what have you. Please contact us there. And for season 1 of the Bell to Bell podcast, go ahead, sir. I'll let this man close out because this new thing he got now, I don't know. Leak may not like this one.
Well, no, this is a season, so we got to do both. So for all of you who do not know what the name of this podcast is and you're just scrolling through YouTube or whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
very quick, 3 words. Bell to Bell!
Yeah!
Or,
Hold up.
we can break it down, it's very simple.
Oh, God.
It's really only just 4 letters, 1 word. Bell!
Yo, I'm so dumb. This season 1. Way to go. Yo, I can't. Yo, when he started doing that shit was